Okay, fine. In the further paragraph now, he talks about the use of language. Okay, and he says that how sometimes language has its own limitations and how people would misunderstand you or you would misunderstand some other people. He again cites another example. What he says, sometimes people ask very tiresome questions and we like to make a joke out of it. He says, are you a Boy Scout? Said a lady to a boy wearing a shorts, a jersey with badges, a scout's hat, and carrying a Boy Scout pole. No, said a little fellow, I am two eggs on toast. The lady only meant, however, how nice you look in your uniform. That is the scout uniform, isn't it? And there was really nothing silly in her remark. Now, this a little story about that scout boy is again very evident here. Okay, the lady asks that scout boy already who is wearing the scout jersey or who is having the scout pole. It is identical that he is a scout boy, by the way, and nobody could have the question regarding whether he is a scout boy or not. But the lady asked that particular question, are you a scout boy? Now if it is very much evident from the boy's appearance which is described here, you should not ask this kind of question. Okay, but anyhow, because that question is asked, you as a replier should not make fun of this question, but rather you should honestly understand the sentiments or the feelings of that lady. The honest sentiment of that lady is this: how nice you look in this uniform. Okay, and you should say, yes, I am, thank you very much. That should be your reply. But at the other hand, we become very arrogant at times and we make fun of that lady and we would say that, no, said the little fellow, I am two eggs on toast. So it is just make fun that, no, I am not a boy, neither a scout, because I am just two eggs on toast. So if you put two eggs on the toast, you would find like a human face. Okay, and therefore he talks, no, I am not human being even, and therefore he makes fun of that particular lady. That should not have happened. According to him, we need to understand again the feeling of that person who is talking. Though it is tiresome, not good, not well organized question, but still if you can understand the meaning of that one, that how nice you look in uniform, you should only reply that, oh, thank you very much, madam, I am scout boy. Okay, so that should be your reply, not that I am two legs on the toast. It is arrogancy. Though you have already understood that she doesn't mean that it is a really question that whether you are scout, because she understood it by your jersey, badges and hat and the pole itself. But again, she has asked it in order to admire you, and you should also admire her efforts, and that is how good manners could be observed. Now move on to the next paragraph. The writer again introduces us with a new idea of some good manners. He says, it is only stupid people who take remarks too literally, because now that particular boy scout has already taken this remark literally, that are you a scout boy? It shouldn't happen according to the writer. And further he says, as we say that it is who do not look for the real meaning in the statement people make. Thus, when a friend says, you will not be going past post office, will you? He may mean, I should be grateful if you would post a letter for me if it is not too much trouble. Okay, so if a question asks you, if a friend asks you this question that you will not be going past the post office, will you? Okay, he does mean that if you are going by that way from the post office, you should actually post his letter, because it is somewhere in your mode of travel or in your way of traveling. Now, what how differently people would reply to it? If you say no to this question because you are not going past the post office, it means that your friend, that you are not willing to go out of your way even a little to oblige him. And if you say rudely no, he would understand that you are not ready to help him out, because if you are going by that way, you will have to take a little time and then make sure that you help your friend. And if you say no, what does it mean? You are not ready to help him or her anyways. Now, he further talks about some more manners by which we can understand our behavior pattern and we can improve our behavior pattern. What he says: it is not always easy in company to speak frankly, and if you don't want to be considered a bad mannered person, you have to watch constantly for signs. It is not easy, for example, to listen for a long to a person. He says, try in company to take only a fair share of the conversation. If there are two of you, take half of it when you have said a little. Keep quiet and give your friend a chance to say something. If he does not talk, he probably does not want you to talk either. So, now in this paragraph, he is talking about a general mistake, fallacy that we commit when we talk to our friends as well. Okay, we keep on talking and talking, and we never let other people talk about that particular point of view. This is one thing. The other thing is, we do not also understand whether the person wants to listen you or not. So these are the two things which we need to observe. According to the writer, there should be something that is known as, popularly known in language, that is known as turn taking. You should allow other people to take their turns and speak them also. At appropriate time, you should stop and let other people speak, and also at appropriate time you should give him or her sign or clue that you want to speak. Okay, so constantly we need to watch for signs, whether the person wants to stop, whether the person wants you to understand something, whether the person wants you to do something when he is speaking, whether the person wants you to talk at certain point. You need to watch for those signs, also observe them, and then behave accordingly. You should give all your attention to the person who is speaking. So suppose you ask somebody to speak and then you do not pay any attention, then there would be a problem. Let us say, for example, right now you ask me one question and I am answering you. At the same time you are playing music or you are checking your WhatsApp. That is not a good manner at all, because you have asked me to speak and I am speaking for you. You should give all your attention to me. At the same time, you should also look for the signs when I want to take a note, when I want you to speak, when I want to reply you to my questions, and all these things. Okay, so this is how we can observe good manners when we talk in the circle of our friends or the people that we know each other well as well. Okay, at some point, the people to whom we are talking, they are also tired and probably they don't want to listen to us also. We should also get a clue from their behavior that no, they are now tired and we should stop talking. This is one of the good manners that he talks about. Now further he says, don't think you can say unpleasant things about someone behind his back. This is again one of the very, very bad things that is prevalent all around, that if somebody is not present, in his absence we do speak all the bad things, unpleasant things that we want to talk about him. Okay, and not when that person is present. And it is also bad to expect that he would not listen about what you talk to about that person. Whatever remarks you have made about him, he would by some way get it from some other persons. Okay, so this is one of the bad manner that he talks about. When you talk, when we uh, uh, something do practice something that is called as a backbiting. If somebody is not present and you talk all bad things about that particular person, so that has to be removed from our behavior. The person would always come to know about whatever bad things you talked about that person from somebody else, and then that would perhaps spoil your relationship. So therefore he says, whatever you say, always assume that the person may overhear. त्याला कुठून ना कुठून तुम्ही जे बोलताय ते ऐकायला जाणारच आहे. And adjust your remark accordingly. All experienced people act in this way. Everybody has this habit, and everybody listens over here whatever remarks you make about him or her from different people, and then they would adjust their point of view, their behavior for you on the meaning of whatever you have said. So make sure that whatever you want to talk about that person, talk in his presence, so that the credibility of yourself, the trust that the person has in yourself would be grown. Otherwise, this kind of backbiters lose the trustworthiness in communication. We are at the end of this so that we can finish it in today's lecture itself. Will it be okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It would take not more than some 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, here further he says that now here is one of the most surprising things in life. No man really understand himself. What a lot of argument and anger would we should be saved if people would only understand this. Suppose, for example, you saw a motor accident and were giving evidence about what happened. You would feel perfectly confident, perhaps, that the car which knocked the boy over was a blue car. Another person would be equally confident that it was a car, it was a grey car, and someone else that it was a black car. So there are different colors of the cars that are seen by different people from different angles. Okay, and when it comes to talk about what color of the car was that knocked down the particular boy, all the people, three people, would be convinced about their own understanding of the color for themselves. Okay, and then therefore there is not one particular truth that could be reached, or there would be nothing that is considered as a finality uh, 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 of expression or evidence. Okay, so there would be always different kind of point of views and different kind of changes that could be seen from different angles. And therefore he now further in next paragraph he is giving us an example of an experiment conducted by some experts, okay, to find out how many errors people do make in their statements. Here is one experiment which was tried, and then he talks about that experiment. He talks about experiment that was in which there is a bullfight. Bullfight, you might have seen, it is a game in Spain, okay, in which there would be bulls who are fighting to each other, and you know there would be red color handkerchief that would be shown, and then the bulls usually follow that red color, and then there would be a fight that is arranged there. Okay, now what happened, there was a picture of the red bull fight that is shown to the boys, and these boys or the students were asked to write a short account of what they had seen. When this was finished, they were told to put number on every statement made. Number one is to be given if they thought so. Okay. Number two, if they were fairly sure, or number three, if they were quite sure, and number four, if they were prepared to swear to the statement on oath. There now you can find there are categories of conviction. Okay, categories of confidence. Four of them. One is if they thought so, असं असायला पाहिजे एक जनरल अंदाज. If they were fairly sure, yes, I am confident about whatever I have seen. Third was quite sure, yes, I am pretty sure about it. And fourth is I can swear it. Okay, and when the data is collected, it is surprising that every student had at least 10% errors in the statement he was prepared to swear on the oath. जे काही स्टेटमेंट त्यांनी ते चित्र बघून केलेले होते, बाय वॉचिंग दॅट पिक्चर, वॉट एव्हर स्टेटमेंट दे हॅव मेड, दे वर नॉट रेडी टू स्वेअर ऑन अन ओथ. शपथ घेऊन ते सांगायला तयार नव्हते की येस इट इज ट्रू. ओके, लुक ॲट द कॉन्फिडन्स लेवल. When you usually speak in public, you have that confidence level. But if somebody is asked whether they are pretty sure and they can take oath on and then speak about them, their confidence level automatically goes down. Because of what? It simply underlines one fact, that whatever we are convinced about our life and thinking around us, that sometimes we are not pretty sure about that, and that is only an opinion that we are convinced about. Further, he says that, and considerably more than 10% in the other group. So, in every other group, because there were 4 groups, in every other group there would be these people who are not convinced about themselves and the statements that they have made. Now he further explains. He says that now how does this happen? Here, for example, was one mistake. A student saw the bull having its tongue out. He was quite sure about it. Yet when he was shown the picture again, he saw that the bull's mouth was closed, but that because its head was turned to the side, the ear looked like the tongue. Because it is just something that is called as visible mistakes that we people usually have, and he has explained one on them. Okay, when the picture is shown about that bull, one of the students had seen that the bull has the tongue out of his mouth, but from other angle, when he has seen that the same picture, he could realize that the mouth is closed, and if the mouth is closed, simply tongue cannot be out. So what must be that object? According to his understanding, that must be the ear of that bull, that is behind that particular mouth, that is seen as the tongue and not the tongue itself. The example itself suggests the different point of views that we people perceive in our life, and everybody who is around us have these kind of different understanding from one particular object or things, and therefore it is our duty to understand their understanding for that particular object and then make them convinced. So all in all, the focus of this essay is about making people understanding what you want to say, and understanding others people. Okay, therefore in the last paragraph he concludes what he says. Look at that. Good manners come from having sympathy. Everything that he has said so far, with help of all the paragraphs, he is saying, he says good manners come from having sympathy with others and from understanding our own limitations. The truth is too big for any one of us to understand. The truth as we see it is only our truth and a part of a large truth. We should always realize that we are humble, unimportant little people on this earth and try to help the world as much as we can in our short time here. Okay, so all these are the points that he had already made, he had already explained in different paragraphs. This is what is a summary of whatever he has said so far. Okay, and now lastly he says that I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good therefore I can do, or any kindness I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. He wants to be good and to do for the fellow people. Okay, and in the last line he says that let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. He says that because whatever understanding, whatever age you are in, whatever capabilities you are in right now, you can never get that age again, that capabilities again. Once you grow older or you passed by, you would never get your strength again. So whatever good things you have to do for the world, the people around you, you have to do it right now, at this moment. In this way, this passage, good manners,